Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Vanderford.
And I am Taryn Vanderford, and we are live here today at the tornado-ravaged village of Pilger. Now, the National Weather Service says the damage looks to be from a possible EF4 tornado. It's the third confirmed violent tornado of 2014.
Just amazing driving into town. You could see where the tornado went exactly, and unfortunately, 2 people have been killed in this storm. 74-year-old David Herote of Clarkson died after his car left the roadway, and the other victim was 5-year-old Callista Dixon. She died after suffering injuries inside of a mobile home.
Now, 4 tornadoes appear to have hit northeast Nebraska, causing widespread devastation. Governor Dave Heineman declared a state of emergency. This morning, Governor Heineman, Congressman Jeff Fortenberry, and NEMA were in Pilger surveying the damage. Now, if you don't know where Pilger is, it's in Stanton County in northeast Nebraska. It's a community of around 350 people, about 20 miles east of Norfolk. Pilger is described as the perfect bedroom community to Norfolk, Wayne, and Wisner.
Well, Pilger boasts the slogan, "The little town too tough to die," which carries a new meaning on a day like this.
Yeah, it sure does. Now, the tornadoes touched down on Monday afternoon and destroyed more than half the town. We're on the south side of the town where the devastation is the most apparent here. And joining us now is Dan Swanson. He is with our radio partner, US 92. I'm glad to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Dan, you have been covering the story from late last night all day today. What have you seen?
Well, you know, this morning when we arrived, the sunset was just rising over Pilger, and you would get that glimpse of shadow, and the destruction looked intense and profound. And as the day went on and the sun rose, every hour it seemed like you would see more detail and more of what this town is going to be going through with the destruction. But it was, of course, a day for the residents of Pilger. This was their opportunity to come back, visit their houses. They came one by one after meeting in the park, and many times we would make contact with them. One of the first residents that we did meet was Mayor James Duncan, and you may have seen the images of him. He's got the bandage on his head, and his glasses were broke. Just such a brave man, and he struggled really to give his own story of survival, and then also I think he was talking about the survival of his town.
And I know the governor was here today, Dan. Tell us a little more what you learned with that.
The governor did make a tour through the town, the downtown area. He asked questions. He was very inquisitive. He would go up. If he saw a resident, he would make sure that he'd stop and go and talk to him. And he gave out some hugs today. Linda Otterwich, she's the owner of the bar. They were survived. They stayed there overnight. And Doug and Joe Lehman, actually. And when I talked to her, it was an emotional moment. I asked her about what was it like to get a hug from the governor, and she said, it's really all we have right now, and she really was grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. And I know the Red Cross is here, so what are people doing here to move forward?
Well, the American Red Cross was here last night. They had set up a shelter at the Wisner Pilger High School. We talked to them there. They were handing out, here again today, food and water, and I had never experienced anything like this, but you see the Red Cross really providing that emotional support just at the right time for people. You could tell that we really appreciate it.
Okay. Dan, with our radio partner, thank you so much for being here today.
Okay, yeah. And this is a time when our Nebraska communities, they come together stronger than ever. And if you would like to help our fellow Nebraskans in Pilger, a fund has been established at Midwest Bank for the tornado relief efforts. The information is on the screen, and all of the information can be found on our web channel, 1011now.com. Well, coming up next, when the tornadoes rolled through town, a small group of people sought shelter inside the Pilger Bank vault. We're going to have more on that story, that amazing story, with the branch manager.
We'll be right back.